Movers are coming to pick up all of our large furniture soon, so we need to get our house packed up. First room on the list is our bedroom and closet. Let's pack it up. This is the current state of our closet. This is going to be a process. I'm trying to leave everything on hangers since we're just moving a little bit down the road. Oh gosh. Crap. We did it.
Katie Bates just dropped one of the most direct and emotional statements the Bates world has seen in a long time, and fans are now wondering if the family's perfect image is cracking in public. Carlin Bates Stewart posted what should have been a simple moving update, but one tiny comment from Katie sent viewers into a full investigation about which siblings are really standing by her. And Whitney Bates revealed a big family upgrade after baby number 6, but instead of just celebrating a new mom car, the internet turned it into a debate about money, family size, postpartum judgment, and influencer life. So yes, this episode starts with Katie saying she lost about 90% of her family relationships after addressing painful things from her childhood. Then we move into Carlin's house move, where the boxes, closets, and packing chaos somehow became another clue in the bigger Bates family drama. And finally, Whitney and Zach bring home a new Suburban big enough for their family of 8, only for fans to split between cheering them on and questioning everything. The Bates family may still look polished on the surface, but these updates show something much messier underneath. Katie Bates is no longer speaking in soft little hints, and that is exactly why fans are paying attention. In a new emotional post, Katie shared that after choosing to address painful things from her childhood, she quickly learned that not everyone responds to honesty and healing with support. Some people choose silence, some choose distance, some minimize uncomfortable truths. And then Katie made the statement that changed the whole tone. When someone has been repeatedly harmed, staying silent or distancing yourself despite knowing the truth can become its own form of betrayal. That is not a casual inspirational quote. That sounds like someone who has reached a breaking point. What made it even heavier was her clarification that she had lost about 90% of her family relationships. Katie did not name names, she did not explain exactly what happened, but that one number was enough to shake fans because the Bates family has always sold an image of closeness, faith, support, and togetherness. So when one daughter says that telling the truth cost her most of her family connections, people are naturally asking who walked away, who knew, and who stayed silent. Then came the visual that made the whole thing feel even more emotional. Katie stood on a ship deck facing the ocean during golden hour with the words, "You're going to be okay," over the video. It was quiet, still, and deeply personal. The message read almost like an inner battle. One part says she will be okay, another says no. Then the reassurance returns. Her mind is loud, her chest feels tight, her thoughts will not sit still, but this moment will not break her. She is tired, not weak, overwhelmed, not failing. On its own, that would already be emotional, but paired with her words about childhood pain, family distance, silence, and betrayal, fans immediately saw it as something much bigger. Some family members did show up with support. Josie Balka said she loved Katie and was praying for her. Zach Bates left hearts. Brandon Michael said he loved her and was praying every day. Hannah Sponagel left a longer message saying Katie and her little family had been in her prayers, especially after the loss of Katie's precious baby. That comment reminded viewers that this is not just internet drama. Katie has been carrying real grief, real stress, and real emotional weight. But online, the reaction went even deeper. Some viewers said this was the most direct Katie has ever sounded. Others compared her to Jill Duggar, saying Katie may be becoming the Bates daughter who stops protecting the family image and starts naming the hurt. Fans also focused on one specific idea: neutrality does not always equal innocence. To many, Katie seemed to be saying that silence is not harmless when someone has been hurt. And that is why this moment feels like a turning point. Katie did not give every detail, and it's important not to turn speculation into fact. But she did make one thing clear: she stayed silent for a long time, and she is not doing that anymore. Now fans are watching to see who supports her, who avoids the conversation, and whether this is the beginning of Katie stepping away from the family image that once defined her. Because once someone trained to keep the peace decides silence is no longer an option, everything changes. And while Katie's statement had fans looking for signs of support, Carlin Bates Stewart's latest moving video suddenly gave them another clue to analyze. On the surface, Carlin's post was exactly what you expect from a busy mom in the middle of a move. She was holding her baby, surrounded by boxes, packing up her bedroom and closet, and joking that the type A side of her personality was fighting for its life. Normally, Carlin said, everything would be labeled, color-coded, and organized by category. But at this point in the move, she was basically throwing things into boxes and hoping future Carlin could figure it out. Honestly, anyone who has ever moved knows that stage. The video showed clothes being pulled together on hangers, heavy-duty trash bags being used as a shortcut, folded clothes and shoes going into boxes, furniture cleared out, and the room slowly turning from lived-in chaos into an empty space. By the end, Carlin was lying back on a bare mattress, giving a tired little thumbs up like she had survived another round of moving madness. But the real story wasn't the packing. It was Katie Bates Clark showing up in the comments with a simple, "excited for you." That may sound tiny, but in the current Bates fan climate, tiny is enough. After Katie's emotional statement about losing most of her family relationships, fans have been watching every like, every comment, and every public interaction like it's part of a puzzle. And Katie commenting on Carlin's post immediately sparked a bigger conversation. Is Carlin one of the few siblings still truly close to Katie? Some fans called her part of the supportive 10%. Others said Katie and Carlin have always seemed close, so the comment was not surprising. A few pointed out that Carlin has been open about her own mental health struggles and wondered if that makes her more understanding of what Katie is going through now. In other words, Carlin might not need to make a dramatic statement to show support. Quiet consistency may say enough. But not everyone was convinced. Some viewers questioned whether public comments really prove anything. They argued that in a family so focused on image, a sweet comment could also be a way to keep things looking normal. Others pushed back, saying social media is not proof of a feud, but it can reveal patterns, especially when certain siblings keep interacting and others seem absent. That's what made Carlin's moving post so interesting. It was supposed to be about boxes, hangers, tape, and one family getting closer to their dream home. But because Katie commented and because fans are already questioning Bates' family loyalties, the video became something else entirely. Even Carlin's caption about moving chapters started to feel symbolic to viewers. Carlin is literally packing up one home and stepping into another. At the same time, Katie appears to be stepping into a new chapter emotionally, one where she is no longer willing to protect everyone else at the expense of her own healing. The fan conversation also expanded into a bigger discussion about the adult Bates children and the lives they are building now. Some viewers looked at Carlin's home updates, her closet, and the idea of a dream house, and compared that to the childhood the Bates kids had in such a massive family. Online, some speculated that the adult children may now be chasing comfort, stability, space, and control because they grew up with limited individual attention. That's speculation, of course, but it shows how much the family image is being re-examined. For years, viewers saw the Bates as cheerful, close-knit, and faith-centered. Now, as some of the adult kids speak more openly, build their own homes, and show signs of emotional distance or selective support, fans are asking what was really happening happening behind the scenes. So Carlin's moving video became another window into shifting relationships. Carlin seems excited, exhausted, and ready for her next chapter. Katie's comment shows at least some public warmth between the sisters, and fans are left wondering who is really showing up when the cameras aren't rolling. And then, in a completely different kind of update, Whitney Bates gave fans a major family moment that should have been simple and sweet, but somehow still turned into a full online debate. After welcoming baby number 6, Whitney and Zach Bates officially reached the point where their old car just was not working anymore. Their family could not all fit in the GMC Yukon, and for a household of 8, that is not a small inconvenience. It means separate rides, extra juggling, and losing the simple ability to load everyone up together. So Zach spent the day at the dealership trading in the Yukon, and Whitney shared the update while sitting outside with her newborn wrapped in a soft pink blanket. She explained that they needed something with 8 seats, and you could tell this was not just about getting a shiny new vehicle. For Whitney, it was about being able to ride together again as one family. Then came the big reveal. A black Chevrolet Suburban Z71 pulled into the driveway, and the kids reacted like it was Christmas morning. There was screaming, cheering, and pure little kid excitement. Zach stepped out with proud dad energy and told Whitney, "Welcome to your new mom car, baby." That line basically summed up the whole moment. Practical, sentimental, and very Bates. Whitney looked thrilled as she checked out the space and realized they could finally all ride together again. The kids climbed inside, explored the seats, looked at the buttons and screens, and reacted like they had just stepped into a spaceship. Even the family dog Scout got a little moment when Whitney asked if he was excited too. On Instagram, the response was mostly positive. Carlin Bates cheered them on. Brandon Michael congratulated them. The Bates Kitchen account said they were glad everyone could fit again. Fans asked what kind of car it was, with some guessing and others quickly identifying it as a black Suburban Z71. But Reddit took the conversation in a much messier direction. Some users focused on the cost, pointing out that this was still a very expensive vehicle. Others argued that if the previous car had strong trade-in value, the actual cost may not have been as dramatic as people assumed. And that is where the debate split. Some saw the upgrade as completely practical for a family with 6 kids. Others saw it as another example of influencer family life, where major purchases become content and viewers start questioning the money behind the lifestyle. Then the conversation turned even more personal. Some comments criticized Whitney's appearance, especially her hair, and that sparked major pushback. Several people reminded others that Whitney had just had a baby and deserved grace. Postpartum life can mean exhaustion, breastfeeding, night feeds, diapers, hair changes, and barely having time to take care of yourself. Many viewers said there's a difference between criticizing public choices and mocking how a new mom looks weeks after giving birth. And honestly, that became the bigger takeaway. This was not just a car reveal. It became a debate about where commentary ends and cruelty begins. For fans, Whitney and Zach found a vehicle that fits their family and gave their kids a joyful moment. For critics, it raised questions about money, family size, and public influencer life. And for others, it was a reminder that postpartum women are judged harshly even when they are simply trying to function. In the end, the Suburban did what it needed to do. It gave Whitney 8 seats, brought the kids excitement, and restored that feeling of being together as one family. But the reaction proved once again that with the Bates family, even an ordinary life update can become a much bigger conversation. So today's Bates updates all point to the same thing. This family's public image is shifting. Katie is speaking more directly than ever about pain, silence, and betrayal. Carlin's moving video became a clue in the ongoing conversation about who is really supporting who. And Whitney's new mom car turned into a debate about money, motherhood, and how harsh the internet can be. Now, I want to hear from you. Do you think Katie is preparing to share more of her story, or is she simply setting boundaries without giving the public every detail? Do you think Carlin's support means something deeper? And was Whitney's new mom car just a practical upgrade, or do you understand why fans had strong reactions? Drop your thoughts in the comments, like this video, subscribe to The Fame, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next update.